Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. Today we're going to introduce not only 2nd John, but 3rd John. These two very brief letters really do connect with each other and go together, not only in form, but in theme, because both are about the topic of hospitality, New Testament hospitality. And both are written at a time when Christians are being persecuted in an extreme way, which makes this hospitality even more important. In the first century, hospitality meant more than just having somebody over to watch the Super Bowl. Although things like that are important, it included, in a day when Christian missionaries were traveling, Christians were traveling, and there weren't a lot of safe places to stay. It included Christians taking care of each other from town to town, especially in a time when Christianity is experiencing explosive growth. It's necessary to take care of each other, and that's what hospitality meant. And in a time of persecution, that meant putting yourself and even your family at risk. And in fact, it always meant that. Because from the very beginning, guys like Saul of Tarsus went into people's homes and hauled them out and put them in jail because they were Christians. It was always the case, but it's especially so now that Christianity is an enemy of the Roman Empire and Christians are being persecuted severely by the empire itself. So that's important to bear in mind. Both 2nd and 3rd John are personal letters, although I do think that 2nd John is written to a congregation. There are no names in 2nd John. It's written to the chosen lady and her children whom I love in truth. And it says, the children of your chosen sister greet you. John had to be careful. He doesn't mention many names in 2nd John, only two, really. Um, and that's why I think it's possible that he's saying, I'm writing to a congregation, the chosen lady, and your sister congregation sends you greetings. In 1st John, the topic of hospitality is about not extending hospitality to false teachers and identifying who those false teachers are. People who are preaching what is false about Jesus. And he just tells her, if you help out people who will not acknowledge that Jesus Christ is coming in the flesh, you are helping out an antichrist, and you are a partaker of their evil deeds. He says, many deceivers have gone into the world, verse 7, who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ is coming in the flesh. This is a deceiver, an antichrist. Watch yourself. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this gospel, don't receive him into your house, verse 10. Don't give him a greeting. If you do, verse 11, you participate in his evil deeds. Cut this off. Do not help these people out. I've always felt like this is an important lesson. In my experience in the congregations I grew up in, and many of the congregations that I've served in different ways, we make a much bigger deal out of issues than we do doctrine and theology. If somebody disagrees with us on a minor issue, we're prepared to get angry about that. But someone who denies that the Holy Spirit exists or that the Holy Spirit is a he, or something that's actually theological, well, we think of that as not quite so important as these other minor things. But those are the reasons these New Testament letters were written, so that our doctrine and our theology would be right. And John clearly says, if someone doesn't have right theology, you cannot fellowship that person, or you participate in his evil deeds. 2nd John is written to a person named Gaius, and this is about John's own people, good people, not being extended the kind of hospitality that Paul expected Phoebe to receive in Romans chapter 16, verse 1. He sent his people to this congregation where Gaius is attending, and a man named Diotrephes has not extended them not only hospitality but common courtesy, but has basically sent them on down the road. And this was not about doctrine. This was because Diotrephes, who loves to be first among them, verse 9, does not accept what we say. This is about a guy wanting to be the big shot and turning them away. And John saying he's going to be taken care of. God will give him his reward. But also in 2nd John, or 3rd John, excuse me, he doesn't mention any other names other than Gaius and Diotrephes, but says, the friends greet you. So anyway, so these two letters are important to us. They really are connected by a single topic and by the form that they take. And it gives us a glimpse into what was going on at the end of the first century in the churches. You have what's going on now. You have false teaching that we seem to let slide, false doctrine, and yet personalities get in the way whenever people who are teaching the truth are just trying to do their job. They're important letters for us to read and to pay attention to. Thank you for paying attention to them. Tomorrow, we'll start a study of the book of Revelation. We're going to take 3 days to cover the book of Revelation, which is really more than we ought to need, but we will take them. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.